Hi, this is Dave Meurer with Skyway Software, and in this video I'll generate an entire Spring application in just a couple minutes using SpringSource Tool Suite, MyEclipse for Spring, and a Spring MVC Template project. So if you haven't seen the features of MyEclipse for Spring, I'd highly recommend taking a look at the free 30-day trial, which is available either as plugins into STS through an update site or through a standalone MyEclipse install, which includes the MyEclipse Pro features. But as you can see here, MyEclipse for Spring provides bootstrapping, scaffolding, and enhanced editors. And we'll take a look at all three of these in this video, especially scaffolding, which allows developers to take their existing assets like code or database tools and generate entire Spring application with their choice of front ends. As you can see here, Spring MVC, Spring Webflow, Google Web Toolkit, Adobe Flex, and an iPhone web. So switching over to STS, I've got the MyEclipse for Spring plugins installed, and I'm just going to go ahead and create a new Spring template project. I'll choose Spring MVC project. We'll call it orders, and then I'll specify my top level package, com.acme.order app, and I'll go ahead and click finish. So what I would recommend doing is to find the web.xml, and because of MyEclipse for Spring's merging technology during generation, it leaves everything in the web XML that was previously there. So it's going to add some different URL mappings in a servlet. So I would just go ahead and remove that if you don't need it. And then the next thing to do is just go ahead and right click the project and select MyEclipse Scaffold Spring CRUD application. And in this case, I'm going to choose database schema and just pull a couple tables from a MySQL database that I have, customer and customer order. And I'll scaffold both of them and just change the job object here of customer order to be camel case. And then I'll choose my package structure. Then I'm presented with a list of front-end options. For this video, I'll just choose the top three, MVC, Webflow, and Flex. And I've got a couple options which I'll leave as default here. In the select target folders, you could choose any application context file that you want. The MyEclipse for Spring uses a default of application context, so either one is fine. And then you can choose your libraries or what not to deploy. I'll choose Spring 3.0, and then I'll click finish. And so what's generated is a full ready-to-run Java Spring app. You'll notice I've got all my code here, very readable code. I've got all my Spring resource files, context files. I've got other nice things like a Webflow editor that you can drag and drop the different Webflow elements on. I've also got the ability to use MyEclipse for Spring's enhanced editor. So if you switch over to the Java perspective or just add one of these annotations, you'll notice that if I open up the Spring annotator here and open up the customer order service, I've got the ability here to have a real-time editing experience to help me understand which annotations I have available to me and be able to change that on the spot. You also may have noticed that my web XML was filled out, and because this is a Maven project, the POM file is optimized and also contains all the necessary libraries. So what I'm going to do is go back to the Spring perspective and go ahead and add this project to my TC server. I'll move orders over, go ahead and click finish, and I'll go ahead and start this. So once my TC server is started, I can go ahead and drag my browser over here and dial up the application. You'll notice I'm at a dashboard here where I can go and see my Spring MVC application. It supports all the create, read, update, and delete operations of not only the parent object but its children as well. If I go back to the dashboard, the Webflow application, as you can see here in the URL, is the same thing as the Spring MVC but with a Webflow implementation. And then the Flex application gives you more of that rich UI where you've got certain controls like accordions and data grids and editable data grids. So thanks for taking the time to view this video. Be sure to take a look at all the other resources we have online that go into depth in these topics.